What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and in this one we're going to be comparing oldish versus newish. So we have the Miyota 821a and the 8315. This is the successor to what's in this. So if you've never seen an episode where I compare two movements, I essentially just go over a few different aspects of these to give you an idea of which one is better and if one, is the superior movement and, which I think, Anyway, we're not going to keep waffling about that. So let's jump in and start with the history of these movements first. So starting with the oldest first is the 821a found in the lacquer ancient. So this was released pre-2017, so I'm presuming late 2016, potentially early 2017, I don't really know for certain. But in 2019 it got updated with hacking. Now why they didn't add hacking in the first place, I am not sure, but they added that in 2019, and I think just about all of them you can find now, unless you buy one of those pre-2019 watches with the movement in, then it won't have hacking. So that is a little bit of back onto this. As for the 8315, so this was mentioned, I saw on a few forums back in 2018, so not too long after this one, but it didn't actually get released until 2021, and then we saw it creeping into watches, late 2021, early 2022, and now, coming up to end of 2022, getting on. Oh god, it's going fast. Anyway, we're starting to see more and more of these in watches now, especially on AliExpress. A few citizens I've seen have got them as well. Hopefully micro brands might start adopting them because I think they're very, very good. So anyway, let's move on. So let's talk specs. So if I just straighten them up a little bit, and we'll pop the specifications here, so you can actually see them. So both of them have 21 joules. Both of them have the same beat rate at 21,600 beats per hour. Both have a self-winding rotor, which is unidirectional, so it only goes one way. Both have hand winding. Both have hacking. Both have parashock. And both have the same accuracy of negative 20 to plus 40 seconds per day. What is different between these two movements is the power reserve. So the 821a has a lesser power reserve of just 42 hours. Well, I said just, 42 hours is still quite impressive. The new one has 60 hours, which is insane. I mean, when you're looking at big power reserves like that, you're looking at a lot more expensive watches. But now we're seeing it in more affordable ones. It's brilliant. So I am very, very impressed by that. So features, we've already sort of mentioned that, but actually that's not the only upgrade that the 8315 has had. So this one actually has a new bearing and rotor system. So not only is it better, it's quieter too. Now the 821a is not a noisy movement because it has a, well in fact I can show you, so it's got an exhibition case back. It's got a very, very slim and very lightweight rotor, which is why it's quite quiet. This has the exact same rotor, but because it's got those new upgrades, it's even quieter than the 821a. This also has direct drive, so there is no more stuttering seconds. You can just see the difference. I'll actually show them side by side. Now the Miyota 821a is not as bad, but you can see it's sort of not a perfect sweep, it sort of skips a little bit. The 8215 was way worse, but you can just see the 8315 is a lot smoother. Now it's not high beat, it's just the same beat rate. It's just now because it's got the direct drive, it's a lot smoother and the sweep is a lot nicer. You can just see, I mean, well in fact you can't see. Again, I'll show you again. You can just see how that one sort of, it sweeps, but it sort of jutters a little bit, which is the stuttering seconds. This is a lot smoother. So that is another big upgrade from this to this. And well, that's, you know, kind of your lot really, apart from the in-use experience. And actually, you know, they're very, very nice in use. Now this upgraded from the 8215, which is actually not bad in use. This is better. Then the 8315 adds upon that and makes it even better. So what I'll have to do is unscrew the crown on this one first. Being a dive watch, it has a screw down crown, so I'll pop that out. And yes, by the way, that does have a ghost date position. Boo. But anyway, don't really matter because you can just pull the crown out. It's fine, whatever. Now we hack this one as well. So you can see, you know, second hand stopped and second hand stopped. So let's try the winding phase on the lacquer first. So the winding is nice, it's quiet. It's got, you know, a good bit of resistance, but it's not horrible feeling. You know, it's pretty good. So then we try the winding on the 8315. And again, it's got that same resistance. A little bit more reassuring feeling though, I'm going to say. And that could be the crown and, you know, the stem as well. But feeling the movement move, yeah, it definitely does feel a little bit more resistive and a little bit more reassuring. So now we'll move on to the time adjust. So we'll hack the things again. Now let's try the time on the lacquer. And again, we've got that characteristic Miyota bump that we get when we adjust the time. But it definitely feels a lot better than the 8215. That was like really hollow feeling. And I was going to say horrible, but it came out hollow. But anyway, that was really hollow feeling. This is better. So now we try the 8315. I'm going to say 8215. But again, we've still got that bump. This time I've actually noticed that they're a little bit stronger. So you're getting a little bit of a more tactile response. But it feels better as well. It feels a lot more reassuring. You know, like, this feels solid. It's still nice and smooth, as is that one. But yeah, it just feels better in use. So yeah, there is again a big improvement in the usability department. So yeah, both are really good. You can't honestly go wrong with either of these movements, to be fair, in the you know, usage department. The aesthetic as well is something we can take a look at. So what I'm going to do, instead of showing you this one, I'm just going to pop two pictures up, 821a, 8315. And you can actually see, you know, there's not that much difference. The 8315, you know, has blued screws, a little bit more premium looking, but the 821a is not a bad looking movement either. So you can see where Miyota have sort of tweaked the 8315 over the 821a. They've just sort of zhuzhed it up a bit, made it look a little bit nicer, even though the 821a was not a bad looking movement either. So they've definitely, you know, upped the game, I think, for budget movements. And I think this is, well, now one of the benchmarks along with the NH35. Because, you know, when we had the 8215, which is still commonly used today, you know, the movement is good, but it's not a good looking movement. It's an old architecture. Yeah, that's fine. Then we got this, and again, solid movement, but it hasn't really seen a big lifespan. And I'm presuming it's because they used it as a bridge gap between, you know, the development of this. So I'm thinking what they've done is took the 8215's architecture, improved it here, which then, you know, tided them over for a few years so they could fully develop the 8315. And I think that's what they've done here. And, well, it's worked. Oh, I forgot to push the crown back in. But yeah, it's worked. It is better in, you know, every single way over the 821a and the 8215. It's better in every single way. We have also compared this against the NH35, so you can see that as well. That's on the channel already if you've not seen it. I'm not going to spoil it, so I'm going to you know, let you check that out and see which is actually the best budget movement. But we're not just going to be stopping with Miyota and Seiko. No, I'm actually going to be trying to get some other affordable movements on the channel around the you know, the same price point. So when you look at these movements in terms of price, You know, that movement is around 40 something quid. This is, I think I've seen it around 50 odd, 60-ish at the minute, but that will definitely come down given time. Just like, you know, the NH35 and stuff, you know, it's fluctuated in price quite a lot, as has this. The 8215 is a lot cheaper now because obviously it's old, it's, you know, redundant. They can, you know, just bin it off really, in my opinion. But yeah, this I think it's going to be one to keep an eye on. I think, you know, we're going to start seeing it more in micro brands, just as something different than what Seiko's offering. And I'm also hoping that Seiko starts seeing Miyota as a bit more of a threat, and maybe revising their lower end movements. I don't think they will, to be honest. I think the NH35, you know, is still a great movement. But yeah, I mean, if their sales start hurting and microbrands start shifting to this instead, then they might be like, oh, okay, we're starting to lose revenue here. You know, we might end up, you know, reviving, you know, the NH35 and calling it like the NH40 Summit or whatever. I mean, they've already done that with the GMT, haven't they? They've given it a new name, so you never know. They might be upgrading that too and making the NH35 better. I mean, I'm hoping they might decorate it a little bit more in line with this. I'm hoping they might bump the power reserve a little bit, but we don't know. I mean, it's Seiko after all. They don't really, you know, do anything drastic. But yeah, as for these movements, both are great. 8315 is better, of course. So yeah, what do you guys think of the new 8315? Have you managed to get hands-on with one yet? I recommend you do. At least try one. It's really, really good. So yeah, that's it guys. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. And of course, follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.